Can you imagine hearing from a friend or from social media about budget cuts happening in your school because of something that says the school doesn't want to do, but it has to? And then you ask yourself, what about my kid's future? What about my kid's education? It's happening. It happened today in Seattle, where the Seattle school board is saying, you know what, we're going to make some budget cuts. What are these budget cuts on? Well, as you'll see, the parents in Seattle are furious about what happened, and they want answers. Take a look.
It was standing room only at Wednesday's Seattle Public Schools board meeting. The community's colorful signs, a telltale sign of the issues they take with the school board's recent decision to reconfigure classrooms and eliminate some teaching positions.
Please do not close schools. Please vote no. No money, not enough money for public schools? That's not a good enough answer for me. These cuts that are coming down
are set to impact dozens of schools district-wide. According to admin, 40 schools will lose teachers or have students move to different classrooms. Teachers like Miss Angel, a K-3 teacher at Orca Elementary, who's set to lose her job, says parent Seth Nielsen. His kids don't want to see her go.
And we said, you are coming here because we want your teacher from last year to keep doing the wonderful job that she did in your classroom and continue having a positive impact on those students in their early learning years.
The district explaining its decision to restructure because of low enrollment. The ratio of students to teachers is not matching up, specifically in the lower grades. Speakers at the board meeting say that's because of a district management mistake in class size calculations.
the board needs to make this right. The board needs to direct SKS management to find the money to prevent these reshuffles at every school. If money needs to be found, cut staff and salaries here at the central office. Don't take it out of the classroom, and don't take it from kids.
The school superintendent and board members listened to the near-hour-plus comments, but couldn't respond directly. But in a previous response said, quote, "We recognize that staff and classroom assignment changes during the school year can cause anxiety and frustration for our families. We work with our district leadership and principals to minimize disruption and make adjustments as early in the school year as possible." And most of this reshuffling will impact the elementary schools. Now, the district added if it does not realign staff at K-3 in grades 4 and 5 by a certain time frame, that it could potentially lose $3.6 million in state funding. That's for the entire district, of course. We will continue to monitor these developments. Live in Seattle tonight, Dave Detling, Fox 13 News.
Let's take a look at another one. It's all about the split classrooms.
Protective parents are packing this Seattle school board meeting tonight, actively giving testimony. Standing room only in this meeting, and here's why. This week, SBS has begun splitting classrooms, specifically kindergarten through third grade classrooms, to try and honor a 17-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio. Why are they doing it now, more than a month into the school year? It's because the district misjudged enrollment projections at many schools, and now, in some cases, students from different grades are being mixed into the same classes, many being assigned to different teachers. One mom of a young boy read a letter she wrote to her son's now former teacher.
I realized that he was genuinely happy for the first time in a very long time. We were deeply saddened ourselves to learn that your position is being cut.
It's incredibly disruptive to the student experience.
The students in our classroom were in tears the night they found out.
These adjustments are made to ensure that our students benefit from smaller class sizes, while also ensuring Seattle Public Schools again remains fiscally responsible. Please work with us together, because we're all one team trying to make this happen.
The district says being out of line with this 17-to-1 ratio risks more than $3 million in state funding. So we'll have an update on the outcome of this meeting in our later evening newscasts and online on king5.com as well. Reporting live in Seattle, I'm Maddie White.
Wow. I bet we could all use. I bet in this one we can all use some common sense. I mean, split classrooms. it's an issue. I mean, throughout the 7 years, this has not been an issue that we focused in on. Split classrooms. It's a ratio of mixed grades. I mean, the same grade has from high school, it's like a mix of freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors for every classroom. But for that, for separate here in fourth graders, I mean, it'd be like the same, but it should be like one grade, like third graders in one class and the other fourth graders in another class. Third grade English, fourth grade English, or third grade math, fourth grade math, etc. But if schools are being under budgeted, if it's an error, you gotta make it right beforehand, not lie and say, you know what, we made an error. School is about to start, and we gotta fix this. It was not weeks into the year, during the year. If you want to make it right, here's what you can do: make cutbacks. Have a bake sale. Have a car wash sale. That way they can have enough money to donate to the schools, and this problem wouldn't be arose. And I'm glad the parents spoke out and told their side and saying all these things, because it's like nobody cares, but they're trying to make it right somehow for your child in classroom. But the ratio of all this, let's try to fix the ratio. That way it won't happen again. Still ahead, this woman walks into a police station and shoots at the police station. Coming up, this woman decides, I've had enough of these underride crashes and I'm going to do something about it. Stay with us. We've all seen this happening. Underride collisions. That's to where cars, small cars, go ramming through a big rig and crashing the car. But can you ever imagine you had enough about this happening because your daughter or son died, and yet you come up with a mission, a sideguard that would prevent this from happening again? But then you realize it's not required by federal law? The mother you're about to meet has come up with an invention that would help. And you're also going to see the pictures of the victims that have died in these underride carriages. Here's Steve Fabian.
There's nothing more serious or deadly than crashing into a big rig. These collisions often leave the car a mangled wreckage of twisted steel. What makes some accidents so awful is when this happens, so-called underride crashes. When cars slam into the rear or side of a tractor trailer and slide underneath it, like in this crash test. Often, there's no survivors.
Death by underride is a horrible kind of death, and nobody should have to die this way.
Mary Ann Carth lost her daughters, Annalea and Mary, in an underride crash on a Georgia highway.
Annalea died instantly from mechanical asphyxia, and basically, she couldn't breathe. She was crushed to death, and she died instantly on the scene. Mary's whole face was smashed. Every bone in her face was broken. Her carotid artery was severed. She had multiple strokes.
Ever since then, she's been a mom on a mission, fighting to put an end to underride wrecks by lobbying to have a side guard like this installed on all trucks.
This simple fix can stop hundreds of people every year from having their car go under a tractor trailer and them unexpectedly, violently losing their lives.
It's called an angel wing. This crash test demonstration in Raleigh, North Carolina shows how it works. Watch when this sedan flies into the underside of this truck at 35 miles per hour, the front is almost sheared off. But watch what happens when the same type of car smashes into the angel wing at the same speed.
Yes! Yes! The guards stopped the car from going under, and you can see here that there's damage, but it didn't go past the windshield. Both the driver and if there had been a passenger, they would have survived.
There are no federal requirements for side guards like the angel wing. So why is that? Safety experts say the trucking industry...
There was a technical difficulty here. But we're gonna get that fixed right now. But while I'm getting it fixed, we're gonna tell you how you can avoid it. While I'm getting this fixed, to avoid it, what you can do is staying clear of the tractor's trailer's no zones. These are the areas that truck drivers cannot see other vehicles, like smaller vehicles. So we're having some technical difficulties here, but right now we're gonna get it fixed.
As many as 600 people die every
called an angel wing. This crash test demonstration in Raleigh, North Carolina shows how it works. Watch when this sedan flies into the underside of this truck at 35 miles per hour, the front is almost sheared off. But watch what happens when the same type of car smashes into the angel wing at the same speed.
Yes! Yes! The guards stopped the car from going under, and you can see here that there's damage, but it didn't go past the windshield. Both the driver and if there had been a passenger, they would have survived.
There are no federal requirements for side guards like the angel wing. So why is that? Safety experts say the trucking industry does not want to pay the additional expense of installing them. Now, we reached out to the Trucking Association for comment, but they did not respond.
This is not that tough to fix. It is not going to bankrupt America or put the trucking industry out of business. We don't want another parent to join this fraternity. This is a club we don't want people in. Let's end it.
The Carth's Ohio attorney Andy Young and accident reconstruction expert Aaron Kiefer are all part of the advocacy group Team Underride.
The industry really has not taken it upon themselves to put any safety into the central area of a trailer for the motoring public. And so that's why we're here. We're doing this. It's a grassroots type effort.
This is a side underride crash, side underride crash, side underride crash, side underride crash. They have all died in truck crashes.
He keeps all these photos up in his office as a constant reminder of what's at stake.
Regulations are not happening because it adds weight and adds cost to the trailer. They're willing to put a side aerodynamic skirt to save fuel. Why not put something robust behind it to save a life?
Every year, hundreds of people die this way. I've never been so angry in my life. I'm tired of being angry.
A study by the National Highway Traffic Safety Association found that at 40 miles an hour, those guards are 97% effective in preventing fatalities and 85% effective in preventing severe injury.
But sometimes y'all may think that the studies lie. Well, let me tell you. It's like this. If you do your homework, you could be doing a lot of, you could be really helpful. So, again, like I said before, you gotta make sure you avoid those. How do you do that? Again, motorists can help by staying clear of the tractor trailer's no zones. These are areas in which truck drivers cannot see other vehicles. These blind spots are much larger for truck drivers than smaller vehicles. Also, leave enough room. Follow a safe distance. When following a commercial truck, leave room enough for unexpected stops. Avoid blind spots. Stay clear of the areas where truck drivers cannot see other vehicles. Make the truck more visible. To use reflective tape, taillights, and running lights. Install underride guards. The Stop Underrides Act would require underride guards on the sides and front of large trucks. Safety regulations, driver training, stalling and railing vehicles, ensuring the truck lights are working correctly, and being careful when entering existing roads. And in about a year, there's been like 500, 600 deaths per year. Since 2010 and 2020 and 2021, most recent year for which data is available, more than 400 people died in overhead crashes. But guards have to be installed, and including this. But nobody wants to because they don't want to spend money because of the cost of the truck. Screw the cost of the truck and say to yourself, you know what? We gotta make this right. That's where the common sense alert comes in. So, the next time this happens, just make sure you know how to avoid those. So that way it doesn't happen again. And that we never had another accident like that again. Okay. There's some districts that are suing an education agency because of accountability for what happens. When we return, we'll take you to that hearing, and you'll hear one superintendent's side of the story saying how it all unfolded. Stay with us. There is now a lawsuit being filed against the Texas Education Agency because of what happened. Here are some details as far as we can tell you. Nearly 50 school districts are suing the TEA over changes to its accountability system. The lawsuit was filed in Travis County on August of 2023, which was almost 2 months ago. The lawsuit claims the new accountability rates will negatively impact district scores. The TEA raised the benchmark for achievement in January. Some school leaders have compared this to moving a goalpost while a game is already in play. The lawsuit was initially filed by 7 school districts. Since then, more school districts joined, including Arlington, Denton ISD, Plano, Fort Worth, Red Oak, Crowley, Frisco, and Richardson ISD. And since Tuesday, the district leaders were in court. But back in September, the TEA spoke at a conference, followed by superintendent who joined the lawsuit against him. Partially, the article reads, more than North Texas school districts are joining in on the statewide fight to protest changes to the way the Texas Education grades campuses. Fort Worth and Plano ISD joined in the list Tuesday night. Hours earlier, the head of the agency served as a keynote speaker at the Dallas Regional Chamber's 2023 State of Public Education Conference. His visit came at a time when nearly 60 school districts are suing him regarding the new accountability ratings. The former ISD trustee, who was appointed by Republican Governor Greg Abbott in 2015 to become commissioner of the TEA, said while student learning has improved since the pandemic, there's still more work to do. Nearly 6 districts are suing TEA. The lawsuit claims new accountability ratings will negatively drop district scores. TEA has raised the benchmark for achievement in January, but some school leaders have equated to moving a goalpost while a game is already in play. The commissioner left more comments after the panel took the stage, but Williams and Elizabeth expressed their thoughts publicly. But in a recent interview, Ellisdale said Dallas ISD's State of Texas Assessments of Academic Readiness STAR test scores have improved, but based on the new TEA range scale, 42 Dallas School District campuses would drop in ratings. According to a news release from the governor's office during a telltale town hall with faith leaders, Texas on Tuesday, Abbott encouraged people to participate in School Choice Sunday on October 15th, which is now 3 days. So by then, we will know. That's on a Sunday. That's this weekend, so the governor's, that's why the governor is encouraging. But it's not just in those schools. You're about to hear from somebody here in the Coastal Bend that is joining the lawsuits with them. It's not just in other cities. It's also here in the Coastal Bend. Take a look.
Tonight we are hearing from Kingsville ISD Superintendent
Sorry.
Dr. Sissy Reynolds Bettis, after spending a full day in Austin testifying in the lawsuit against the Texas Education Agency.
More than 111 districts are suing the TEA over its accountability system. Today, district leaders headed to court asking for a temporary injunction to stop the agency from assigning performance ratings to schools. Nothing was decided today, but we heard from several witnesses, as well as a consultant who advises Texas school districts on accountability and assessment issues.
During opening statements, it was stressed that school districts believe in accountability, but attorneys say they didn't get any information on the new methods that would be used to give them their performance ratings. You may recall the lawsuit began with the Kingsville ISD, saying the new grading system for school districts didn't give them enough time to adjust.
The accountability system that our students and our teachers are being held under is not a fair system, and it's not a lawful system this year. And all we're asking is for them to reflect on what they've been doing historically, to set a baseline here before they try to start calculating.
So far, 4 superintendents have testified. The state also brought in a witness, a commissioner from the TEA, who says some of their proposed changes could help school campuses and their ratings, but the plaintiffs argue they still haven't seen anything. The judge should have a ruling by Friday, October 20th.
And we won't know by then. But we'll keep you posted what's going on. But let me raise the common sense hand here. This train is going one way. And if you don't like where the train's going, get off the train. It's like this. If nobody likes what the TEA is doing, then leave the district. Give it a try. Like, try something new. If it's what the TEA wants, then it's what the TEA wants. If you want to complain and file a lawsuit, go right ahead. But if you don't like it, like I said, if you don't like where the train's going, get off. I mean, new accountability measures. I mean, when the No Child Left Behind Education Reform Act was passed back in 2002 or 3, it was to where principals and school districts were held accountable. It was just the principals. That was during the time when former Superintendent Rod Page became Secretary of Education for the federal government. But things have got to happen here. I mean, when you look at people, when you look at several districts being sued, nobody heard the phrase "try something new." All the attorneys say you didn't get any information on the new methods. But if they came and visit each school district at the board meeting, they would simply explain, like, "Oh, this is what's going to happen for these accountabilities right before the school year." But if they didn't, then that's when the lawsuit was filed saying, "Oh, they should have let us know before the year started." But when October 20th comes, which is going to happen in about 8 days from now, we'll let you know what happens, and we'll know what happens. We'll know what happens then. So I'll keep following this story on a future episode. We'll let you know what happens. Coming up, security camera shows one person entering a police station with a gun as she shoots up a police station. Stay with us. Can you ever imagine something happening? You're in a police station. You're in a police station and you hear gunshots happening. As a witness, you witnessed the whole thing. Like someone walking in with a gun, all this and this. But if you told what happened, like you know the old phrase, "A picture speaks of 1,000 words." The security footage you're about to see could help prove it. Is worth more than 1,000 words. And I'm warning, some of this content may be disturbing to some viewers. Take a look.
A woman was caught on camera firing a gun inside a Connecticut police station. Surveillance video shows a 51-year-old woman entering the lobby of the Bristol Police Department, appearing to have a gun aimed at her head. She knocks on the front desk window with her left hand, with a gun in her right. This took place around 11:35 p.m., and there were no employees at the lobby desk. After banging on the window several times, the woman shoots into a door, then towards the front desk, according to police. The bullet-resistant glass did not shatter. After firing, she removed her jacket and took a seat in the lobby.
Get down! Get down on the ground!
More shots were fired towards a door where authorities say police officers were attempting to enter the lobby.
Hey, go!
Officers used a taser to subdue the shooter. The shooter was taken to the hospital for evaluation and was later released to authorities. She was charged with several offenses, including attempted murder with special circumstances and illegal discharge of a firearm. The suspect is being held on $1 million bond. This is Inside Edition Digital.
And this is our Common Sense Alert. You don't walk in with a freaking gun. If no one's in the lobby, you do two things. Number one, you sit and wait for someone to say, "Can I help you?" Second thing is, you walk out and expect, and then when an officer comes in and is like, "Can I help you with something?" And he explain what's going on. But you don't drop in with a loaded gun. That is unacceptable. And that can lead to serious jail time. And speaking of jail time, this person stole 25 items. Lisa's not going to jail 25 times. Let's take a look.
Walks into a Target store. He heads to the bedding department, puts items in a cart, and then immediately goes to return them for cash, police told KCBS.
In one instance, they asked him about the property, and he said that the reason...
A man walks into a Target store. He heads to the bedding department, puts items in a cart, and then immediately goes to return them for cash, police told KCBS.
In one instance, they asked him about the property, and he said that the reason he had so many sheets is because he was running an Airbnb. So definitely suspicious if a person is returning multiple items of the same thing.
Investigators with the Irvine police say the thief has been hitting up multiple stores across Orange County, California. Dyson vacuums and Ninja knife sets are two big items police say he goes after, telling workers at the register that the items he's returning were on a registry. Here, detectives say he leans over the electronics counter, grabs an iPad, and runs out the store. They believe he's stolen from stores at least 25 times, totaling about $20,000 in goods.
Thousands of dollars. Each loss is different. Some are as low as $500-600, and some are multiple thousands of dollars. He's definitely prolific, and he's hit a lot of locations.
Police are asking for the public's help in identifying him. This is Inside Edition Digital.
Okay. Common Sense Alert. Here's what if you steal goods, you're stealing money. Everything you buy costs money. If you buy a TV, you stole TV, you're stealing hundreds of dollars worth of that TV. When you steal, like going back to the cart video episode, when you're stealing carts, you're stealing money. And let me tell you something. I deal with these carts every day because a lesson is being learned that you don't, because this is a common sense lesson. You don't take something that doesn't belong to you. It's not this, it's the same as stealing. Not returning it is the same thing as stealing. If that happens, you can be charged with theft, and that can lead to jail time according to your state statute. According to your state statute, if you decide to do that, you can and will be charged for theft. You steal from schools, you can be charged for theft and trespassing. If you steal from Target, you can be charged for theft. Any store that you go to, if you do something like that, you're caught on camera doing it, and you can be charged for theft. Period. There's no excuses. If you don't have enough money for that item, you need to go back. You need to put it back. That's common sense. But let's go back to our shopping cart theft. Last year in Seattle, stores are facing fines to reclaim abandoned carts even if they were stolen. But people are saying that it's illegal. Some people are saying it's legal. So let's take a look from the National Post.
Here's a fun activity. Go to your local grocery store, grab as much frozen shrimp as you can, and try to leave the store without paying. Actually, don't do that. You'll be tackled, handcuffed, and best case scenario, have your picture all over the local news. But if you walk out of a grocery store with a shopping cart, nobody will bat an eye. You can push that thing right down Main Street, waving to every police officer you pass. There's even a little sign on the shopping cart indicating where you stole it from. Regardless, everything's going to be fine. Use it for as long as you want, and when you're done with it, just push it in a river. This happens all the time. One Berry No Frills estimated that they lose half of their 200 carts every year. And these carts aren't cheap. They range from $200 to $400. That's a lot more than an armload of frozen shrimp. Nevertheless, it is exceedingly rare that anybody gets prosecuted for shopping cart theft. The paperwork and resources needed to cite a shopping cart thief and impound their cart can take up an entire shift. And a lot of the people stealing shopping carts are, of course, poor or homeless. A ticket isn't going to do much. Meanwhile, grocery stores are afraid to make this an issue because they're worried about being branded as a bunch of people bashing the poor. Just look at the outcry that happens whenever a jurisdiction tries to explicitly ban shopping cart theft. I approached a few retailers for comment about shopping cart theft, and oh wow, they didn't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. So, screw them, you say. Those corporate fat cats deserve to have their carts ripped off. Well, who's had a bike stolen lately? The difficulty of prosecuting a bike thief means that many of them operate with virtual impunity. If you own a bike, the onus is on you to stop it from being stolen. And if it is stolen, get ready to spend a lot of time on Craigslist tracking it down yourself. It's basically the same principles as with shopping cart thefts, but it doesn't feel as good when it's your stuff getting ripped off, does it?
But let's go to the shopping cart theft, shopping cart jail. Let's go to what happened 1 year ago. Because if you are in Seattle, and if you heard about shopping cart jail, you may want to watch this story. And if you were in,
called shopping cart jail.
And if you were in Texas in HEB, you may have realized those anti-locks that are put in place. That's to prevent people from stealing them. Walmart's not doing anything because they just ruin the mom and pop of everything. One of those carts has that lock in it, but it rarely works. But that's another video. Let's take a look at Seattle, called Shopping Cart Jail, where stores face fines.
Shopping cart jail. A secluded, fenced-in line.
hidden among the trees. Hundreds of shopping carts collected by the city of Federal Way. If the stores want them back, they have to bail them out. $25 each.
So the intent of the program was to reduce the amount of carts that had been abandoned.
The city passed a law 4 years ago to create a financial incentive for the stores to retrieve their carts. But things have changed.
The problem has gotten a little bit worse with the increase in homelessness.
There is an epidemic of unabated shoplifting, including the theft of carts and homelessness.
The drug addicts steal from the store, and then they steal the shopping cart, and they're never held responsible for any of their actions.
David Zumwalt was homeless, an addict, and now a drug recovery counselor, and shot this video inside the lot to prove a point.
There was hundreds, and most of them look totally functional.
Functional is a key word, because if the stores don't pay the $25 impound fee, the city says all of these carts will be destroyed, and the stores will be charged for that too.
It hurts the consumer because you go to the store and there's no carts.
What do you think about the fees?
I think it's ridiculous.
At Marlene's Market,
Have you guys paid?
We have.
they're a small business, just 2 stores, and they buy recycle carts for $150. New ones run up to $400.
We take a count every night. $50 to destroy a cart to us is a lot. To Target and Safeway and Ross is not as much. I understand the reasoning for the fees, but I think they should also take into consideration the business.
Stores are losing carts to theft at no fault of their own.
We don't allow them to take them. It's theft.
Now, a push to give them back.
Give them back, like in an act of goodwill, because he's penalizing the victims of theft.
I think it would cost a lot less money to sanitize these carts and send them back to the stores rather than to haul them down to the dump.
If you think Federal Way's shopping cart jail is an isolated case, it's not. Federal Way charges $25 per cart. So does Longview. Auburn charges $30. Renton and Lakewood, $100. And if those cities pick up more than 12 carts a month, it's $200 a cart. Yakima, $115, but no charge if the cart's locking device is disabled.
On average, this bin is full of shopping carts.
John runs the shopping cart collection program for the city of Renton.
We are seeing more carts. We've been getting anywhere from 35 to 40 carts per day.
His crew picks up once a week, and if the stores don't pay, the city recycles the carts. We saw perfectly good carts purposely smashed in this bin headed to the recycler.
I would say 99% of them are functional, good carts, and they're very expensive.
All the cities require labeling, like this cart just says, "Thank you for shopping with us." Really don't know where it came from, so it's destined for disposal.
That's the part that makes me really angry.
That functional carts are destroyed and not auctioned off or given to nonprofits to use, or possibly the very same people that are stealing them to haul everything they own.
The whole issue is a bad cycle. I mean, this is property that's been stolen from us, and we're having to pay because it's been stolen.
The Northwest Grocers Association has built a successful cart retrieval system in Oregon and is now hiring people to do the same in Washington State.
It's just a bad situation, and there isn't a great solution.
So next time, if you can't find a shopping cart,
I've been in a few grocery stores and there's no carts, and I kind of know where some of them might be.
Matt Markovich, Fox 13 News.
And Walmart's attitude about all this, we'll pay more. They still will pay. That's a waste of money. That's why it's my job to make sure that every cart is being brought back. But it's the homeless people, like, for crying out loud. The city has a law like that, but let me tell you, this city, the city of Corpus Christi, needs to pass a city ordinance which would prohibit people from taking carts off the premises. If that happens, store management needs to get involved and say, put that back now or you're going to jail. If they run off, the management has to take a picture of the thief, call the authorities, and say, hey, I have a shopping cart thief that just left Walmart. He's stopped at the bus stop. Or what would be better common sense is have an employee bring a cart from outside the store. When I started doing this, I I've had one employee tell me that they threatened to fire him if he brought back the carts from outside. Another Walmart employee told me that they don't do that because we could be held liable. It's like, why be held liable for bringing a car from outside? That's a good deed. But you're helping out your store save money. But Walmart pays a truck to bring them back. At least like once a week. Because let me tell you something. Let me show you. I'm not going to show you, but let me describe it for you. This is Walmart right here, and this is the bus stop. It takes 2 minutes to walk from the bus stop to Walmart. It's 2 minutes there and 2 minutes back. It's like, come on. I mean, I see shopping carts at the bus stop right by the store. Right behind the car wash, right by the store. We live in the year 2023. And people say that Walmart is evil because it ruins the mom and pop business. And people tell me all the damn time that it's a waste of time. I mean, I don't mind that time. Listen, I don't mind having my time wasted on this for a reason. The reasoning behind this is basically because I'm helping people save money. Save money, live better. That's their slogan. But when people take cards, I mean, it's for homelessness. I mean, in Fred Meyer, there's locking cards that could prevent theft.
4:30, a local store is using new technology to stop thieves from walking away with thousands of dollars in stolen items.
Coin wants to know how it works, so our Lisa Balick went to a Fred Meyer in Southeast Portland where they just rolled out the new devices.
Shoplifting is becoming such a big problem for retail stores, they're trying new ways to stop thieves at the door. At the Johnson Creek Fred Meyer store, these grocery carts are a new weapon in fighting shoplifting. There's something special in the wheels. Here's how it works. You fill up your cart and head to a check stand.
And when they go through the check lane, there's deactivators in each check lane and through self-checkout, and then it will deactivate that from locking so you can leave the store with ease.
So if you don't go through a check stand, what happens with the cart?
The cart will lock at the entryway.
The system is designed to prevent shoplifters from loading up a cart, then heading out the doors without paying. It's tough for store security to detain someone inside the store suspected of shoplifting when the thief could always say they were planning to pay.
It does help prevent loss in our stores, definitely. You know, we would have certain incidents that happen where things go out the door, so now we can be more aware of it. It sets off a camera, and our loss prevention actually has to look at the camera and view every time that the doors go off.
We did see some people who paid.
Sorry about that.
I didn't steal anything.
Oh no, it just locks up after a certain amount of time.
But their carts locked as they try to leave. Store security has a quick release device to help them on their way. There are some technical bugs they're working out with the carts.
It does need to be right in front of the sensor for about 30 seconds, which is about the time it takes to unload a shopping cart.
The carts do have signs to explain the locking devices. Customers we talked with like the idea.
I support that 100%. You know, I think you should be able to, you know, protect your business.
Fred Meyer tells me they have 7 stores in the Portland area with the locking carts at the exit and more on the way. In Happy Valley, Lisa Balick, KOIN 6 News.
But what about the homelessness? I mean, here's one from here's one that has a coin to pay for it.
New in 6, a chain of Valley Dollar Stores is trying a new way to keep people from ripping off their shopping carts.
13 Action News reporter David Schuman shows us how shoppers are forced to put up collateral first, and the results have been a bit rocky.
Walking into the 99-cents only store on Nellis in Charleston is not what it used to be. There's a lot of work. Unfamiliar devices on the shopping carts are stopping people in their tracks.
I've watched dozens of shoppers come up and try to get a cart, and there's been some confusion. Some people, they see it's locked, and they walk away in frustration. Others think that they're being charged 25 cents to use. Well, in fact, you put the quarter in the slot, it unhooks the buckle. You use the cart, and when you bring it back and put the buckle back in, the quarter is released.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Everybody ought to do it in town. Managers say the buckles were installed last week. They have to spend time explaining it, but the point is to deter people from walking away with the carts.
It helps a person put it back. The carts are all over town. They just take the carts and take them home.
Sensible intentions, but the store is certainly mired right now in an adjustment period.
Just push it in this one.
Look, people, it's this easy.
Okay, I got my quarter.
Woohoo! It was a little confusing at first.
Yeah, it was. But it's okay now. It's great.
And for the ones that still don't get returned,
So you saw 3 carts sitting out there and you're gonna take their quarters.
Well, Matt, I'm doing y'all a favor.
the manager said he doesn't mind that, as long as they end up back in line. David Schumann, 13 Action News.
So now we know you get your money back at the
That's
end.
right. Get the
All right.
refund.
Yeah.
I think Walmart needs to do that. I mean, it's like, okay, you pay 29 cents for a cart, then you get your quarter back. You put the quarter in, you unlock it, you take the cart, you put it back in, and then you get your money back. Whoopie-doo! I think I mean, out of these tools, which one I think needs to be the best? Well, that one, I recommend this one and the last one that we showed.
Store is using new technology to
The lock carts and the 25-cent carts. That doesn't mean not the other ones, but I'll give you some common sense when we come back. Stay with us. Common sense alert. What do I think is the best tool to prevent shopping cart theft? Basically, if I had to choose, it would be those two. The 25-cent return lock and the anti-lock. Meaning, when you leave the store, the camera would go off and the security person has to check the items and then a device would unlock. That way they could take the carts in and put it back. But when you're going out, it's the same. It's basically the same thing. So what needs to be done here? Well, basically, if someone approaches you saying, "Can I have the cart?" you need to say no, and then they'll walk away. But if they keep badgering you, you need to say no. If they continue, you need to notify a store manager immediately, or contact your non-emergency number in whatever city you live in, your city police department. Whether you're in Corpus Christi or Kingsville, you have a non-emergency number that you can put in. I'm not gonna tell you ours because this and this. So if that happens to you, then you can call the non-emergency number, and you can let them know that, oh, this person's harassed me for a shopping cart, and I kept telling him no. An officer will respond and say, quit harassing her, quit harassing him. If he sends his water cart, then leave him alone. If it continues and he or she refuses to leave, that person can be asked to leave. And if they refuse to leave, they can be arrested for trespassing and or attempted theft. Attempted theft can be an attempt to steal a cart. But going back to the law here, there ain't no state law. There ain't no state or city law that would prohibit shopping cart theft. I mean, you try to look up stealing a shopping cart law in Texas, and in Texas, it is illegal to possess a shopping cart at a location other than the premises of a retail establishment that owns a shopping cart. The Texas Penal Code defines that theft is taking someone else's property without consent, either by deception or basically stealing it. According to Section 3140 of the Dallas Code, a person commits the offense if they possess a shopping cart at a location other than the premises of the retail establishment that owns a shopping cart. Removing a shopping cart from the premises of an owner without the written permission of the owner or authorized drop-off station. And a business had 30 days to retrieve abandoned carts and pay a $50 fee per cart. If the cart's not picked up, they'll be destroyed after 30 days. Business faces a Class C misdemeanor for having 16 or more abandoned carts at the Jolly station. That's only in Dallas. Subsection B. Possession of a shopping cart. This is all section 3140. Subsection B. Person commits an offense if he possesses a shopping cart at a location other than the premises of the retail establishment that owns the shopping cart. A retail establishment owns a shopping cart shall affix the shopping cart durable all weather legible letters. I mean, that's what this section is all about, the possession of a cart. So the next time this happens, I mean, just look at the law. That's the Dallas County Code. The Dallas City Code. The City Code of Ordinance, that's just in Dallas, Texas. Not for the whole state. But this law this city ordinance has to be put in place. Not just in Dallas, but in Corpus Christi. I mean, if I was to create a petition to push city code enforcers to if I was to make an ordinance, if I was part of city council, I would put an ordinance to put in place that would prohibit people from taking carts without permission. And then not only having people pay fines for stealing. It's just as simple as this. There needs to be a city ordinance ordinance put in place by City of Corpus Christi that would prohibit people from stealing carts. Prohibit. Stores have to be accountable, but all the Walmart stores in the city won't even abide by it. H-E-B's doing better. Dollar Tree needs to do that work. Dollar Tree and Dollar General needs to do that work to prevent this from happening again, because we see carts being stolen, abandoned, and no one's returning them. And then there needs to be a hotline put in place to where if you see a cart missing, you call the Walmart hotline and they will send somebody out there to go retrieve the cart right away. Not 2 days or 4 days in advance. Right away. If they have a truck, they'll pay for it. It's that simple. So the bottom line here is this. Let's stop stealing carts, let's save money, and prevent shoplifting from happening again. We'll be right back. If you ask people, does pineapple go on pizza? People will say yes. But Italians say Italians, including Gordon Ramsay, say pineapple does not go on a pizza. Because it's a fruit. Take a look. Take a look at this final video.
Oh, they're making pizza. Bacon? No! Yes! Look at that! You all don't know the book. What is it? Pineapple does not go on a pizza because it's a fruit.
What about tomatoes?
What about them?
Tomatoes are fruit too.
Pineapple does not go on a pizza because it's a fruit.
What about tomatoes?
Fruit does. If people like Hawaiian pizza, then it's like, then okay. Take a look at this.
Pineapple does go on pizza!
Pineapple does not belong on a pizza. How many times do I have to tell you?
Pineapple does go on pizza!
Pineapple does not go on a pizza, and that's common sense. But when somebody tells you that pineapple doesn't go on a pizza, Just look. You never had the Hawaiian pizza? I've had Hawaiian pizza before, and believe me, it's really good. So, if people will tell you that pepperoni is on pizza, well, it's what you think. I mean, I like pepperoni, sausage, meatballs, ham, and anchovies on my pizza. But hey, it's everyone's favorite toppings. You got a favorite topping, you can just leave it on your pizza. But if you don't like it, then you can pick it off. It's common sense that tells you that. That's Game Break for this Wednesday going to Thursday. We'll see you again for Throwback Thursday. Tonight on Throwback Thursday, something special. For all of us here at YouTube, have a good night.